Hello there, this is Daniele from Toolchefs, and in this video we're going to have a look at the motion modes for the state machine. I've created some files for you already that we're going to use in this tutorial. You can download the zip file from the blog and then unzip it, and now basically we're going to set up everything for this scene. So first thing that we have to do is we're going to open up the Atoms UI, and we're going to create a new agent type. This is gonna be called spaceship, or give it another name, anything that makes sense to you. Right, EOS and skin. I'm gonna register. I'm going to test quickly that this agent type was registered successfully. So I'm gonna create a new grid layout. I'm gonna select spaceship, hit rewind. There are just two joints on this spaceship, so the skeleton display type doesn't make a lot of sense. In the skin mode, in the skin display type, you'll see this. This was a very simple model that I've made for this tutorial, so nothing really fancy here. So okay, now it's working, so the agent type is fine, and now we're gonna create our animation clips. So the first one, we're gonna call it straight, and we're going to pick the straight FBX. This is 30 frames long, and it's basically the spaceship is going on a straight line. I'm going to make I'm going to set the loop start to 5 and the loop end to 25. Loop blend to 5. I'm gonna select this direction type to static, and because here our spaceship is flying on the minus Z axis. As you can see here, basically here the major axis is minus Z. I'm going to set this to -1, and so 0, 0, -1, so this is the negative Z axis. I'm going to register this one, and then I'm going to add also two new animation clips. So this one I'm going to call it left. I'm going to pick the left FBX, and in this clip basically the spaceship is rotated 90 degrees, and it's moving again on a straight line on the negative Z axis. And I'm going to set the same start and end frames, statics 0 and -1. Alright, register. And now I'm going to create the last one, right. Same thing here, and in this clip is moving, the spaceship is moving on a straight line, but it's was tilted on the other side, so it's rotated -90 degrees, and again it's moving on the negative Z axis. So okay, so now if we test this quickly, just to make sure the clip is working, I'm gonna just select the straight one. Yeah, so it's working. As you can see, the spaceship is moving in space. Okay, so now we can create a new state machine, and I'm gonna call it spaceship. To rename a state machine, you just double click on it on this list here. I'm gonna create a new state. I'm gonna call it fly, and then I'm gonna add 3 clips. So the first one is gonna be my straight clip, and the motion is gonna be set to straight. Then I'm gonna add left, and here right, and for left I'm gonna say turn left, and right turn right. Now here, basically for the straight clip, I'm gonna leave these two values as they are, but for the left and straight I'm gonna change them. So basically this one, the first value is the starting angle from when the state machine is gonna start blending from the straight clip to the left clip. And then the blend is gonna basically is the number of degrees, so let's say 3 in this case. That is gonna be used for blending these two clips. So between 0 and 3 degrees, the straight clip is going to be blended into the left clip, and the same thing is valid for the right clip. So here we've set it in this way. So between 0 and 3 degrees, you'll see that basically these two clips are gonna be blended. So whenever our spaceship is gonna start rotating, so it's gonna start not rotating, sorry, it's gonna start turning left between 0 and 3 degrees, you'll see that these two clips are gonna be blended together. So I'm gonna click register. I'm gonna go in the agent type and select spaceship here as the state machine, because this is very important. Otherwise our spaceship won't actually use the state machine we've just created. Now I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna remove the clip reader, add the state machine. So now we're gonna use the state machine that was just set for this agent type for the spaceship. So if I press play, you'll see that now it's just moving on a straight line because we're using the straight clip. Now let's make this spaceship turn. So we're gonna do it like that. Okay. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do follow curve. Select it, middle mouse button, drag and drop on the curve parameter here. As you saw, the spaceship already aligned onto the curve. Now if I press play, you see that the spaceship is actually turning when it's when it's basically, sorry, it's tilting while it's turning left and right. Here, as you saw, the values are a bit too high, so say 5 and 5. This probably should be a bit smoother. And if you want also to make the turning a bit smoother, you can also edit the max turn angle values. So in this case, I'm going to change the X value to, let's say, 0.01. Yeah, 0.1 is good. I'm gonna click register. Now if I play again, you see that now it's basically tilting in a bit smoother. Another interesting thing for this example is basically if you edit the shape of this curve like so, and if you now play the simulation, you see that the spaceship is actually not following the full shape of the curve, so it's actually stuck on the XZ plane. If you go in the state machine and select behave 3D, this will actually let the plane fly freely in the 3D space and move freely in the 3D space without being stuck on the XZ plane. So if now I press play, you see that now the ship is actually following the curve and moving also on the y-axis. And this is all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.